Well, welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc
and David Wynn.
And we're here to talk about how to have great success in every market. Hey, and today, guys, we're back in that Florida market again with our favorite co-host, Rafael Amaro from the Amaro Group. Rafael, brother, we love it when you're on the show, and I know our audience does too. But man, who'd you bring along, man? You always got literally the best people in Florida, brother.
Well, I'm very pleased to be able to invite Jillian Von Ohlen. She's a very busy agent in this town, mother, real estate owner, broker owner, and manage a great team. Okay. She's top 3% in the nation and one of the most, top producer on the Treasure Coast, Florida market. So you can only imagine handling all those tasks at the same time. I'm very proud to have her over with us here today. Jillian Von Ohlen. You'll have it here.
Welcome to the show.
Woo-hoo!
I love it. I love the energy too. I love the energy. You brought it in the green room, so I'm super excited to see where this one goes. But so you're down there in that South Florida market. Somebody said something about getting treasure, so I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if we get a Pirates hat, but I'm really pumped about this. But tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you from Florida originally?
I am actually. I am a South Florida native girl. I was born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, moved away when I was about 12 up to the Melbourne area, which is, the beach side of Central Florida. I lived in Tampa when I was in college, Miami, Boca, you kind of name it, from Central to South Florida. I've been there. But now I reside in Port St. Lucie, and my team and we handle the entire Treasure Coast, which is Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties, as well as even Okeechobee.
That's awesome. Wow. And what a great team you've got too. We were talking about that a little bit, before we jumped on, and, again, top 30 in your marketplace, number 3%, right, in the country. Man, that's what a title to be able to wear, and not worn because you don't deserve it, worn because you very much deserve it. You're passionate about what you're doing, and you're helping people every single day, and that's why we wanted to bring you on the show. So,
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Of course. So let's talk about this a little bit. So you grew up in Fort Lauderdale, ended up down there in the Treasure. Is it Treasure Cove? I want to make sure I'm saying this right.
Treasure Coast. Yeah, so
Treasure
it's actually
Coast.
called the Treasure Coast because it's where a lot of pirate ships ended up sinking, and there's a lot of treasure under our waters here.
Very cool. Very cool. I didn't know that, but so you taught me something today. But I know it's one of the most beautiful parts of the United States. So you're down there selling the dream. And so did you just jump right into real estate after school and say, this is what I wanted to do? Or how'd you get in this industry?
I feel like, is real estate typically ever something you do right out of school? No. It's always a job. They always say it's a job you end up in, for the most part. No, I actually used to be a fashion designer. That's what I have a degree in. So I did fashion for about 5 years, got into that. I went through a really big merger and layoff back in my late 20s. And so I'm kind of starting to date myself now.
Like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, right. It's funny. I guess I'm blessed with good genes because everyone's always like, you look 10 years younger than you really are. I'm like, thanks, I'll take it. I'll take it, especially when I'm like 80 years old, But I know I tell people I'm 70, So I'm just kidding. But so when in my late 20s, I went through that layoff, and during that time, I actually was starting to invest in properties and went through Robert Kiyosaki's coaching program. I was obsessed with Robert for many years, reading a lot of his books. So that kind of got my feet wet a little bit in real estate, but it was in the investing side, and that's what I love about real estate is there's so many ways and dynamics that you could go about it and be involved in the real estate world. So even you guys, as mortgage, it's like there's so many just different facets. But
there is.
Yeah. So I moved back down to Florida. I was living up in Missouri at the time with my fashion career, moved back to Florida and ended up here. So I've been in this area since 2006. So 18 years now, which is crazy. And about 5 years into me living here is when I got my real estate license. So yeah, that was 13 years ago. And what got me into real estate is I went through another layoff. I got laid off of where I was working. And I said to myself, well, you know what? I'm done. I'm never going to work for someone else again. What do I now do? And I was about 33 years old. And so now you can figure out how old I am. And I was also planning to have a child. I said, you know, I want to start a family and I want to have a career that would allow me to be flexible and allow me to set my schedule. Little did I know, I got pregnant while studying for my state exam. So I started the family a little sooner than I had anticipated,
Right.
but but that was really kind of cool. Like I learned to build my business and do real estate while being a new mother. So when I hear people say, oh, well, I'm a mom or I'm this and I'm that, I can't do it full time. I'm like, don't even go there because I know that's a lie.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm a firm believer where if you want something bad enough and it's going to support you and your goals and in your life, you can have it. You can have whatever you put your mind to. To me, your mind is a very, very, very powerful tool. It could be used for good and bad. I choose to use mine for good, of course. And, but yeah, so I started my career 13 years ago, in 2011, which if everyone remembers that time, it was a down market.
It was.
Yeah. So what was cool about it though, is because of my background in investing and what I had learned over those years prior, is I was able to start working with a lot of investors, and that's pretty much who were out there. That was who the people were. Foreclosures were happening, short sales were happening. I kind of became known as the short sale queen around the area. Half of my closings, my second year in the business, were short sales. Yeah. And I just kind of took off from there and just did really well, and, you know, slowly built a team. You know, the team ebbs and flows, of course, like every other business. You grow and then you diminish, and you grow and you diminish. Right now we're a team of 7 of us. Actually, I just interviewed someone today, so hopefully he'll be joining us too. We'll be a team of 8. We actually just opened our first office, which is very exciting. And we're going to be having events there and doing really cool things with that. So that's going to, of course, support the team growth and just support our goals in a big way. But yeah, I mean, I just love what real estate has to offer. I love building the relationships that I get to build with my customers. I actually teach classes. I call it relationship marketing, because that's really what it is. It's not about sales. It's not about being a salesperson per se. You have to have that salesperson drive and part of that mindset too. But I don't look at my transactions or my customers as a transaction per se. I look at them as people that I get to love on and serve and help have them reach their goal. You know, ultimately we're supporting people in buying their biggest purchase probably of their life. And what we do is important.
Well, let's unpack that a little bit, because you threw a lot at us really fast.
I do that.
It's okay. It's okay. But we're going to walk back through it a little bit. One of the first things that I heard you say was you did fashion in Missouri. That doesn't even make sense. You're telling me that the fashion mecca of the United States is Missouri?
Yeah.
And no offense. I'm a Kansas kid. I'm from Kansas, so I can say that.
Yeah, actually, then you would know who I worked for. I used to work for May Merchandising. May Company. If anyone who is watching this lived up north in the Northeast, there was Filene's, Foley's Basement, Strawbridge's, any of those. I used to design.
We didn't have those in Kansas, so I'm actually not familiar with those.
Well, May Company should have been.
We weren't cool enough.
You weren't cool enough. That's funny. Yeah, it was a department store. I designed was one of the designers in the department for the men's clothing line. And if anyone from Florida, though, remembers Burdines about 18 years ago.
Florida store.
And Macy's took over, so Macy's bought us out is what happened. So Macy's was the number 2 company. My company I was with for May Company was number 1. So the number 2 company bought out the number 1 company. And because I did not want to move to New York City, because I wanted to start a family, I said, okay, I guess I'm going back to Florida, which is where my grassroots are.
Well, we're glad you did. You know, we're glad you did, because we need great people in this industry like yourself. And you also, you know, you kind of filled a void because, you know, you got in and you said, I had to figure out how to do business. It was a struggling market. And, you know, I ended up working through short sales last time I looked, those weren't easy.
No.
And, that's where you cut your teeth, right? So not that we're going to, see a lot of people tapping into that market right now. It may happen at some point in time, but, what is that like to get into the business and tap into a really difficult transaction type?
Honestly, I loved it when I got in. Like I said, I was pregnant, so I was learning the business, going through all my trainings with a big belly on me. And I was traveling a lot because of the brokerage I worked at was about an hour away. Didn't know what I didn't know. Back when you get started, you have no idea what to look for in a brokerage.
Right.
That's one thing I've learned. I've now been in 4 different brokerages, so I understand now what to look for and what's good, what's not good. But either way, so when I got started, working with investors, I was, selling $30,000, $50,000 houses. I mean, it was insane. It was the price of a car. And
right.
What honestly helped me is my mother was doing property management, and she was kind of the push a little bit to be like, go get your license. You've already been an investor. You kind of know, a little bit. And because I do property management, I can give you the leads, the rental leads at least, of people who don't want to rent the properties that I have. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. Something to do. I didn't really look at this as being some long-term career. I looked at it as just like a fix for the moment because I was unemployed. I tell people I looked really, really bad on paper. I had just gone through a divorce. I was bankrupt. And I foreclosed on 2 of my rental properties because the market tanked. So but it helped me. It helped being in that position helped me relate to those people going through short sales. Yeah. So I learned the process of how to find those people who are in lease pendants and send them letters. I was door knocking. I was getting face to face with these people and saying, hey, I can help you. And I did partner with someone who she helped me do the processing part with the bank for short sales. So we had a partnership, and that really helped me get it done. The fastest short sale we ever did was 3 months, which if anyone knows about short sales, they take a lot longer than that.
Yeah,
so my average was actually 4 months to process a short sale, which was awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so I was really proud of that. And that's probably why I kind of became the short sale queen, because I was able to get it done really, really fast with my partner.
Yeah. Well, you got it. You understood it. You knew the inner workings, how to deal with the right people. And so you're out there barefoot and pregnant, knocking on doors.
Literally.
Driving an hour back and forth to home just to get it started. Man, you're a go-getter.
Yeah.
Is she a go-getter, or is it just you had to do it?
Yeah, that's a question.
You had no option. I'm hearing your story and all that stuff, and I not that I say you're not a go-getter, Jillian, but it's funny what you're forced to do and what you're capable of doing, which is commendable. Again,
thank you.
Pregnant, starting in a new career, losing all that stuff, going through everything. Everybody looks at you now.
Got to go back home, right?
Everybody looks at you now as an overnight success. People, when they Google Jillian now, goes, man, real estate comes easy for her. Look, she does thousands of transactions. She does it. What they don't know is the years that you paid the dues.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was 7 days a week, and I had my child, and I breastfed. So I breastfeed him in between showings in the car, and I'd tell my buyer, I'll meet you at the next house. And I would put him in the stroller. I mean, I actually lost 2 buyers because they didn't like that I had a child and I'd bring him on showings with me because I had to. My ex-husband at the time worked down actually in West Palm, once again, about an hour away. He worked his 5 days a week. His shift was from 1 p.m. till 11 p.m. So I was alone 5 days a week for those hours with a new baby. And for anyone who's a new parent or understands that, like, you don't know what the heck you're doing. So you're figuring it out. While he's sleeping, I'm writing offers or doing computer work. While he was awake, I'm either trying to play with him or take him out and bring him on appointments with me.
You're part of this contract over here. Do you need this pen?
Yeah. And when he was old enough, he actually used to
contract with you.
Yeah. And when he was old enough, he actually used to love dressing up like superheroes. So I started putting him in my marketing.
Yes. I
And
love
yeah,
that.
like he used to love to dress like the Flash, and I'd have him like pose, and I'm like, we're gonna sell this home in a flash, and I just got creative with being a mom, and literally all of my customers got to. It's still today, and he's in the other room. He's almost 13 years old now, and pretty much all my customers either know about him or have met him. My child's very involved in my life,
Well,
and
tell him to put the Flash Gordon outfit on and get out here because we got to
yeah,
see it.
he'd be like, I don't think so, Mom.
Yeah, I know where that's going. It ain't happening.
Well, I got a 13-year-old. I can assure you that's not happening.
Yeah, no.
It's like that scene in Christmas Story when he's got to come out in the pink bunny outfit. Like he's not doing it.
Yeah, not
I
anymore.
hope you put it on your payroll so you can write off that for taxes.
He is now. Yes, he is my model, and he also does all of my filing of my paperwork because I'll be like, here. He now knows how to file and how to do the different piles and file my paperwork, and yeah, he helps me. He's starting to figure out how to do video clips, and he has a little TikTok account, and I'm like, you're gonna start doing videos for me. So,
What a
He's
great
gonna
education she's
blow you
getting.
up even more.
Yeah.
That's the generation that gets TikTok. They know
I
how to
don't
do
get
it.
it.
They know what to post. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the boring old people on TikTok.
Yeah. I
He's
don't
gonna
even
make
know
you
my
look way
account.
cooler.
I have an account, and I don't know it.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey guys,
me
there's
too.
something that I
Full
wanna,
disclosure.
David. There's something that I wanna bring because she's not telling us. She recently launched a campaign called Hearts and Homes, and that says a lot, okay, about her passion, dedication to their clients and their team. Look at the name, Hearts and Homes. Okay,
Talk to us about
so
that. What
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 is
is
it?
that campaign? What does that mean to you? Why did you create this?
So it's actually now my new team name. I had always had my team name under my name, and my new partner Joe and I started looking at how do we want to not only brand ourselves, but how are we supporting our agents on our team to brand themselves, and what does it look like for us as we expand? Because I am actually I am starting to sell homes, like list homes in other areas of Florida. So I've now sold 2 homes that I never even stepped foot in. I have a contract or a listing agreement right now with 4 other homes to market those that I'll never set foot in. And so as we expand and we're growing across the state and maybe into other states eventually, we wanted a name where no one had to know who Jillian was, because in other areas, no one will know who I am.
That's
so
right.
we thought, okay, what could we create? And it took us about 6 months to really think about rebranding ourselves. We knew we wanted to do it. We just didn't know how and what to say. So we came up with all different names. And when he said it in the car one day, and he's like, Hearts and Homes. I was like, oh, I think that's it. And so, because we still wanted something that represented who I have been and what I've been up to with my career. And I've always led with my heart. It's funny. I actually had a conversation with a customer today that she was maybe not getting approved for her rental, and I said, look, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. I've been doing this a long time, and everybody who gets into the home or sells the home to that buyer, it was meant to be that buyer bought that seller's house, or that the renter moved into this house, or my buyer got that house, whatever it is. It was always meant to happen. And to me, that is about leading with your heart and allowing just the beauty of the earth of what is going to happen, and just being with it and allowing it to be. So to me, the hearts part was easy, and Hearts and Homes, obviously, like, it goes well together. But the whole saying that heart is where the home is, or home is where the heart is.
Home is where the heart is.
Home is where the heart is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, that's not our tagline with it, but still. And what's funny is our website is hearts.homes. So I realize now you can do a dot something at the end of like 200 different domains. It's amazing.
Yeah,
so we are
that's
at dot
right.
homes now, and it's just hearts. So it's hearts.homes.
I love that.
And it's kind of new because it's a little techie, which is what we are too. We're very much into technology and very much about being cutting edge, and just doing different things, with that.
I love that. I love that. And you know what that means, when when we hear that is, the passion that goes behind it, right? You're not just starting, a brand, to make financial wealth. You're starting a brand because you want to help people, bring their biggest dreams to life. It's funny,
Right.
that your heart's to home. So, our slogan here is "Home begins here," and we've always put a little heart next to it. So it's funny that because home is where the heart is, right? So with the Dubuc team, home begins here. So I love
Exactly.
that. I absolutely love that. Now, you talk about tech in real estate, and I think that's an interesting thing to talk about because we are in a technology era, and there's so many great tools, if used properly, that can really enhance the experience for the consumer and also give you the ability to duplicate your efforts on a much larger scale. How are you bringing tech into real estate? What are you guys doing with that?
Well, I'm always looking for like what is the next thing, or what is new. I try a lot. My partner kind of doesn't like that. He's like, you spend money on stuff because you try so many things. But I'm like, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're actually looking at a product to have our own branded app where people can search homes. So they won't have to use Zillow. They won't have to use
Yeah.
Realtor.com. They use ours. And so once we convert them as a customer and they're our customer, or even just they come into our system, it doesn't even have to be an actual customer yet. We want to send them and get them on our app checking out properties. So that's actually something that's going to be coming down the pipeline, in the next few months. We're working on that. We use technology, especially with our transaction management system. I actually have created a system. I am hopefully going to be working on creating my own software with that as well. But everything that we do is on the computer, and some people still like paper, and I'm a paper person in some ways.
Right.
But but being virtual and being out and about everywhere, you have to be able to connect to everything virtually.
That's right.
So, even as simple as like I use Google, Gmail for my email. So I love using my Google Calendar, and I love using Google Suite, and and it's like, and I can use all this stuff and have my virtual assistant who's in the Philippines still have access to everything that I'm creating and doing. And it just makes sense, so I've had to learn and teach myself, and it was a learning curve when you're in your mid 40s too, of like everything used to be on paper. I used to have like my Rolodex or, and it's like, you don't have that anymore. But there's so much technology, obviously, like the basic stuff is every realtor that everyone really has to use, obviously, like the MLS and things like that. But as far as different technologies that we're looking to do, and I love my CRM. That's actually, I'm obsessed with CRMs. That's where I kind of geek out and tech out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I want to always make sure I'm in the best CRM, and I hate to say it, I can't say there's a best CRM yet out there because I like stuff of different ones. I'm like, I want to squish them all together, But yeah, so I'm always looking at what is coming down the pipeline. I don't go to the conferences on technology. I kind of wait for those, and then I always see what Inman is kind of like putting out there and showing us.
Yeah.
But yeah, technology is important, and there's a lot of agents who refuse to be a part of it, like AI and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I guess AI is scary and it's creepy, but like you're going to get left behind if you don't get on that bandwagon.
You've got to embrace it. You got to embrace the technology and learn how to utilize it to improve your processes and give yourself more time back. What's funny is when you start digging into ChatGPT and really understanding how you can use it, it's not a cheat sheet. What it really is it's a virtual assistant in itself, right? You mentioned virtual assistants. We use them too. In fact, full disclosure, we've got a couple of them that are literally in our virtual office right now working for us as you and I are on this podcast today. That's another, pro tip. You can outsource some of those things, and these people are hardworking college graduates that will do what it takes every single day. And you're also helping them because the wage there is so much lower than it is here. When we take care of those people, we're taking care of them and their families too. So I love that you mentioned that. But jumping back on ChatGPT and tech, I utilize ChatGPT to enhance what I'm doing, not to take over what I'm doing, but just to complement it and make it better. And I can tell you right now, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not using chat in my business somewhere, whether it's creating a bot that's going to be able to communicate with people and give them the information they need, or whether it's using it to design a campaign or maybe create an Excel spreadsheet so that I don't have to take the time to formulate everything. Although I can, it's way easier and gives me a lot more time back to embrace this type of tech. Another program that we were introduced to and we love, which I think it's always great to introduce things to other agents too. We've got a program called Roam. It's our virtual office. And what it allows for us to do is carry our office in our pocket. We still have desks. We can still jump into a conference room, but we can do it from anywhere on the planet. And what we've done is we've actually invited our clients right into our office from our website. So you could jump on our website, click, come visit the office, and you can meet Raphael and David live and in person in seconds, right? So embrace the tech is what I'm talking about. And I'd love to meet an agent out there that's doing that and implementing it into the business, because you're right. This is the future. And you're either going to be behind the future or you're going to be in front of the future. And if you're in front of the future, you're going to be in the future. And if you're behind the future, you're going to be in the past. So, yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. I love it. You start talking the nerdy tech stuff, you get my interest, because that's where my passion is.
Yeah, I truly geek out. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be my intention, and so I'm putting it out there, is I am creating a piece of software that has yet to really be created. Like I said, this transaction management system that I have and that I've created is currently an add-on to another software already. And but they even told me, the COO told me, he's like, I've never seen anything this robust. I've never seen something like this. He's like, you didn't miss a beat. And I was like, nope, I didn't.
Way to go.
Raphael got the experience, in essence, of my part of my system on the lender side. There's the lender side, the title side, of course, the co-broke agent, the customer. I created it more for the customer and even more for myself to make things easy. That's the way my brain works. I'm like, I need easy, and I need to just put my process down. And it was all on paper, and I was selling it like in an actual manual for a little while. And I was like, this is crazy. I got to get this online. And about a year ago, I found the software to put it into, and I've been testing it and playing with it and, growing it, building it more. And it's becoming very, very, very robust, and it's really cool. But yeah, I could talk about that all day, and I geek out on that for sure.
Well, and you should, because it's something that you've nursed from the birth of, and you're taking this and you're making the industry better by adding in tools like this that we need. So, again, that's my true intention. Is I know it's a product that's going to be able to help a lot of agents.
And with that, I want to add something. She's going to be attracting more young agents, okay, that want to be part of her team, that are so used to use technology. And with that, she's going to bring the part of that 72 million generation up there that are trying to buy houses. So it might not be thought about that, but it's going to trigger that kind of agents coming and driving to her organization once they find out that they can use technology and make their life easier to do their job and serve their clients.
Yeah,
that's smart. Really smart.
Well, one of our mottos here is you can have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both, right? And, a lot of times agents and loan officers have a hard time leaving some of the pieces behind because they want to have full control. And let's be 100% here. You've got to be able to provide great service. But it doesn't mean that you personally have to be the one that does everything. So you need to be able to implement strategic partners, virtual assistants, or actual assistants inside your business that allow for you to create bigger successes, not just for yourself, but for the communities that you serve. Because, quite frankly, you're great at what you do and you provide an amazing service, but you need to be able to do it for more people. You can't do that by yourself. And so if you can instill the technology and bring in the right people that help you with that growth, you can let go of the control, but you know that the work that's being done is duplicating what you actually want. You've got a vision and you're bringing it to life, and that's what's making you so successful. And, again, that's why I want to have you on here, because it's amazing to be able to talk to some of these great entrepreneurs like yourself, Jillian, that get in the industry, figure it out, and then figure out how to make it better. And that's what you're doing. You're making
Yeah.
it better.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty cool to be a part of that. And it's funny because I actually did a video on this when the whole August 17th situation happened, with buyer broker agreements. And I said, there's a lot of, chatter, negative chatter out there, and everyone's kind of complaining and this. I'm like, you know what? Complaining, first of all, it ain't gonna make it go back to prior to August 17th.
That's right.
So embrace it.
Embrace it.
But look at the fact that we are now the realtors in this 2024 time frame who get to be the creators of what the next whole thing of real estate is going to become and be. That is freaking cool. That's not necessarily technology, but it's still about being a trailblazer, and leading the way and showing people like not to be just sit back and complain, but actually do something about it and make a positive impact in our industry and, or get out of it. I don't care.
Well, it's funny you say that, when the whole NAR settlement thing, released and everybody was kind of going crazy, our team was popped on the sales club. They're like, hey, we're getting a lot of questions about, what's happening? What do we do? And, the agency was like, when do we engage with having them sign the agreement and how do we have that conversation? And, what we ended up doing is we used technology to create some solutions for that. So I don't know if Raphael showed it with you or not. We have a resource page on our website specifically for agents and borrowers on how to navigate the NAR. In fact, it has a walkthrough with instructionals on how to start talking about it, what the FAQs might be, right? Things that people are asking and the answers to those questions, the 184 things that a realtor does for you, which we know sometimes is probably even more than that, but there's at least 184. We've got all those written out. And, how to navigate through the compensation piece and what's different than what it was before and what it is now. And then we even build a chat bot named Stanley who will answer all those questions for you in multiple languages because we had agents that were asking us questions. We said, you know what, let's build a solution. So I love what you're talking about because you can either be behind the times and sit back and go, man, why me? Why is this happening? But you can also be the leader of the pack and say, hey, let's figure out how to solve this solution through strategies and help others have that confidence to go out and work in this market with that. So again, I love what you're talking about here because you're leading with passion, and that's our number 2 core value is passion. We do everything we do with passion here. So speaking
Hearts
of
and homes. Hearts and homes.
Hearts and homes. So talking about hearts and homes, do you have some core values behind that? Is there a statement of purpose? What is that all about there? Does that exist?
Not yet. It's funny you say that because I'm a big person on acronyms, and I'm like, oh, could we create an acronym out of this? And we haven't done that yet. But, and like I said, we don't really have, it's funny because we haven't really done a little tagline, but what has started to organically happen, because we really only launched this about a month and a half ago, is because everyone's like hearts.homes for the website and even our emails and stuff. They're like, .com? I'm like, no, it's not a .com. It's a .homes, and so I'm saying, not a .com, we're real people.
And, I like it.
Yeah. So that's kind of become the tagline a little bit. We're not a .com, we're real people.
That's really good though.
And that is Hearts and Homes is, you're going to get real people. We're very transparent. We're very authentic. We're very honest. We're very trustworthy. I guess you could say we abide the code of ethics, which not every agent really does. And that's truly how we live our life. My partner, he always says, how you see me here is how I am everywhere. I'm like that with my family, my friends, and I'm the same way. I don't put on a different face per se. I may put on more like the business mind hat, the realtor hat of, okay, I got to get into, my mode of like negotiating or, or problem solving or whatever it is I have to do at certain times in the transaction. But my personality of who I am and who I am at my core doesn't change. And that to me is the Hearts and Homes. It's we're real people.
Well, that's it, and at the end of the day, it sounds like the people that are surrounded by you, they know exactly what the mission is. And that's what you got to do. When you've got an idea and you want to create something special, everybody has to know it. They have to understand it, who you are, what you want to represent. And, you've defined that, with the Hearts and Homes. And at the end of the day, I feel it. I feel that passion. I feel it when you talk. I feel it in your energy. And I'm sure all the people that are in your sphere and the people that are on that team, they feel that energy too. And that's why you're doing such great things, because when you're leading with that kind of passion, great things happen. And,
Yep.
again, the moral integrity aspect of it, right? We're the same way. We talk, you talk about acronyms. Our acronym here is SWEAT, same way every time. But the moral side of it, we always say, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, right? Because at the end of the day, you've got to do things for the right reasons. And our number 3 core value, number 4, is integrity. Right. And it's not because it's less important than the others. It just happens to be that family and passion and it's number 4, and action take forth before that. Right. But we always do it with integrity because that's super important. So I love aligning with other like-minded, like-hearted people like yourself, Jillian, because it's always great to meet experts in this industry that have a passion for helping others and leading with that passion, and now taking technology to another level to help serve our people and our communities. You're doing great things out there.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it either, in the sense that, doing this 13 years, it was probably that 7-year, 8-year itch. I wanted to get out of it. I was not passionate. I was not motivated. I did start, and part of it probably was I started leaning more into coaching. I was starting to coach agents.
Yep.
And so I lost my passion for the sales side of working with customers.
Right.
And but that was still my bread and butter. You start it was still a new business, even though it was in the real estate world, and I didn't have enough agents, supporting my financial, what I needed to make, and so I still had to sell real estate. I lost my passion for, gosh, it was probably about 2 years. Like, I was doing it and I was like semi-passionate, but I wasn't and out of nowhere. Huh?
You were half in.
Right. I was half in. And I was still making my sales. And what's funny is I plateaued. Like, my income didn't really increase then. Like, I thank God stayed. But I didn't start excelling, until my passion came back. And it was probably about year 9. It was when COVID hit and I was like,
right.
Oh my gosh, and I think everyone was kind of like, oh my gosh.
What are we going to do?
Yeah, right. Like, is this the beginning of the end, and everything shut down for 2 months.
My house?
Right. Like, who wants to buy a house right now, and then it went freaking crazy. And so, and I don't know if that's why my passion came back. I'm not really sure why, but I did stop coaching at that time. And I really more so started coaching and focusing even on my team. And so my team is who I pour my coaching and love into, and even just agents in general, if they come to me. But I did put that passion also back into my customers, and it's funny because I tell people, I've been through 2 divorces. Once again, I'm transparent here. And those relationships lasted about 11 years or just under. And 13 years now as a realtor. I'm like, this is the longest relationship I've ever been in.
Love of your life.
Yeah, and I still had my 7-year itch, and it's like, and I had that 2-year do I really want to be in this anymore, and it happens. So if you're an agent out there too listening, and it's like, and you're in that, I'm not really sure I want to do this anymore, or I've lost the passion, or I've lost the fire. Like, maybe do something else within your career, do something different to bring the passion back. Or, there's so many different things that you could try to do. It could even be just doing community service and or getting a new partner in the business or a new lender or something, whatever it might be. There are those people in your life, they always say you're like the top 5 people that you hang out with. And maybe the people you're hanging out with are not very passionate either,
Right.
So
yeah, you're a product of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right?
Yep.
You better make sure those 5 people are pretty awesome, and you want to be at the bottom of that list because you always want to strive to be at the top, right? So at the end of the day, that's what makes you better, is spending time with great people. Let me tell you something. I'm here with people like you, Jillian, and Dave over here, and my buddy Raphael, and our videographer John. Man, I know we're going places because we're spending time with some pretty great people that have big ambitions and want to serve for all the right reasons, So, well, Jillian, we'd love to keep you here all day, but we know you've got a lot out there that you should be doing. So, hey, what have we not tackled today that we should have?
Oh, good question. I don't know. We tackled quite a bit.
We did a lot. We did.
Yeah.
We went to Missouri and back, and we've been in fashion, and we went back in mortgage and COVID. We kind of covered it all. So
We did.
technology, right?
Yeah,
I love it.
we certainly did.
Hey, when the folks out there want to find you, we know you're down there in the coolest part of Florida. So talk about that. How do the folks get in front of you? What areas does your team serve? And how do we get you? How do we get you on the phone when we want to do business?
All right. So yeah, like they say, we live in paradise down here in South Florida, you know? So, and it's funny, if you can picture where the most northern part of South Florida is, that's where we are. So the next county above us is considered Central Florida, even though it's the East Coast, you know, on the beach side. But yeah, so I live in Port St. Lucie, which is in St. Lucie County. But we go north into Indian River, which is mostly Vero Beach. And we go south into Martin County, which has Stewart, Palm City. And we even go into Jupiter and Palm Beach as well. So if you are ever, you know, needing anything in those areas, you know, please let us know. But I'll give you my cell phone number. I don't give that out very much, but I'll put it out there. My cell phone number is 772-924-8256. And you can always, you know, submit a form or information on our website, which is hearts.homes, not a .com, because we're real people. And but yeah, and you can always look my name up. You know, Jillian Von Ohlen. You look me up, you'll find me. You'll be able to connect.
She's there. I promise. Not hard to find at all.
Yeah, I have a unique name. Not many of me out there. Not many of me in general, but like
not any of you out there, because you're the one and only, and we're so glad that you came today. That's it. So, well, great stuff. Well, Raphael, like I said at the beginning, you find the coolest people out there. So glad that you joined us again, brother. Hey, we know you also serve Florida in general. You also got a little bit of Texas in you if you guys want to speak with Raphael. And full disclosure, Raphael speaks a few different languages. So whether you speak English or Spanish or Spanglish or or Russian, and I think there's one other. Portuguese. Raphael can help you out. Raphael, when the folks out there want to find you, brother, how do they get in touch with you?
#mortgage help now. Okay. Or directly on my cell phone, 786-333-2592. That's the best two places.
There it is, and there it is. Hey, guys, if you're watching in, you saw all that contact information float right across the bottom of the screen. But if you're listening and you want to find Jillian or Raphael, and we suggest that you do, just look down in the description, and you'll see all their contact information right there, and reach out, because these two are experts in the industry, and you're going to get some amazing, amazing service. So thank you both for joining us today. Dave, anything you want to say to our guests before we wrap up the show?
Man, this was awesome, Jillian. You're so bubbly and alive. I can't wait to go down there and meet you in person. And if you're looking for real estate in the Port Lucie area,
Treasure Coast.
Definitely call Jillian and her team.
Yeah, good stuff. And if you're looking for mortgages, call Raphael. I promise you, this man is at the top of the game, and he answers literally every time. And if he doesn't, he's got a team that'll answer for him, and the man always calls back. One of the most passionate people on the mortgage side I've ever seen. So, Raphael, thank you too, brother.
Thank you guys for making this possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, guys and gals, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Wynn.
If you want to check us out, come on over to realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. But if you want to watch this one, if you're listening in, come to YouTube and find these two at the Dubuc team. You'll be able to find this podcast at the Dubuc team, or you can check us out on IG, Facebook, TikTok. Hey, make sure to comment. We love the likes and the subscribes. And until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.